With some free time that I had this evening, I set out on the west side of Amarillo with one goal in mind: to pace a Z train at 70 miles an hour on the Southern Transcon. The BNSF Hereford subdivision was the perfect place in mind as I head west on US Highway 60. I stopped as soon as I saw headlights of an incoming eastbound. It was a vehicle train led by BNSF 6681. Some spotty storms coming in from the west. Shooting in the rain, especially from the car, is not one of my favorite things to do, but I make it work. As I came into Hereford, a hot Z train speeds eastbound, leaving me no time to set up. BNSF 6832 is on the point as they muscle towards Amarillo. Although it's a Z train, this wasn't particularly what I was looking for. I also wanted to get a little more west of Hereford to have some good ground to cover. While I had some light outside, I wanted to get something by this huge grain elevator in the middle of town, starting with this eastbound Q train led by BNSF 6691. A westbound was in the vicinity, so I crossed the street to get closer to the tracks as BNSF 8334 with an H train passes through about 10 minutes after the Q train. Right as the DP passes, I turned around seeing more headlights of an incoming eastbound as the grade crossing stays activated for BNSF 8252 East with an S train. I started progressing westbound as I get lucky once again with BNSF's geometry train heading eastbound. I then stop at the west end of Black Siding as a manifest freight train sits and waits for priority traffic to clear. This consist was killer with all D9-44 CWs. BNSF 5036 was on the point in Heritage 2 paint. BNSF 1106 was trailing second in Heritage 1 paint, and BNSF 646 was third, still representing its Santa Fe Warbonnet scheme. I so wish I could have caught this one running, but what a consist. I continued to the east side of Freona, Texas, which was as far west as I wanted to go. This would be a good distance to pace a Z train to Hereford from here. Daylight was fading, and a thunderstorm would threaten my trip back to Amarillo with winds picking up as well. Then BNSF 4726 leads a Z train with the throttle wide open down Main 1. The double-track main line had also been freshly ground by rail grinder crews earlier in the week, which made this train sound pretty good. As the sun sets, I had no chance at pacing in daylight. But then, my luck struck, as an eastbound Z train was speeding towards me with all the power. It may be dark at this point, but I'll take what I can get. I start my chase east with the BNSF 7505. This was going to be easy, as the speed I had was no match for the Z train. Thank God there were no cops around, as I topped over 100 miles an hour to get to the engines. You'll still be able to hear the power of the train as I match them between 68 to 70 miles an hour. That fog that you see, by the way, is not fog. That would be cow manure. There are a lot of dairy farms out here that hold thousands of cattle. The smell is not pleasing. Take my word. High wind warnings would slow them down briefly to about 60 to 65 miles an hour. I took the opportunity to try and beat them to Hereford, which I did, but then they snuck up behind me back at track speed. At this point, it was too dark to stay with them, so I get far ahead to where I could be ready to catch them one more time. Umbarger, Texas would be the place as the thunderstorm starts hammering the surrounding area with wind, rain, and lightning. Not the best combination to be out trackside. One thing to note too, the crossing bell was not working. westbound Manifest Freight train meets the Z train on Main 1 with a mix of Norfolk Southern power in the consist. After the Z train cleared my location, the dispatcher instructed them to stop at Canyon due to a derailment in Amarillo. This, of course, was because of the high winds caused by the thunderstorm that hammered the city. That was my cue to call it a night. If you enjoyed what you saw today, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button to see more content like this. Hit that notification bell too so you can be the first to see my new videos. See y'all next time from Umbarger, Texas at milepost 580.3 along BNSF's Hereford subdivision.